Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. President George Bush reassured Africa during the last leg of his tour through the continent last week that the US was not planning to build new military bases there. Bush said AFRICOM, the US military command for Africa that was created last year, was intended to help African leaders solve the continent's crises, not boost the US military presence there. The US leader also played down the risk of rivalry with China for influence on the continent. John in the US thinks competition between the two economies could be bad news for Africa. Once the US and China start competing, the EU will most likely try to get a foothold also. I see the return to economic colonization of Africa of 200 years ago. Rob in the US thinks the type of trade will determine if competition will benefit Africa. Significant help would come from the creation of Africa-based manufacturing and services, leading to local job development and a larger middle class. Then one could see a true and enduring benefit to the continent. Steve in the US thinks Africa can exploit the larger economies. Perhaps being the object of competition is something honest African leaders can exploit to their nation's benefit. Staying in Africa, we looked at the possibility of power sharing as a solution to the political crisis in Kenya on our show last week, which sparked a lot of viewer discussion on our website. Paul, who is a Kenyan living in Sri Lanka, thinks a clean slate is needed. Both parties need to step aside as Kenyans will not trust them with another election. Give us back our country. It belongs to us. Mohammed in Somalia isn't as optimistic about a power-sharing agreement. The former UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan's mediation efforts in Kenya won't do anything unless Mr. Kibaki steps down. Jayant writes from Kenya with a positive attitude towards the recent developments. This is a good opportunity for my country, Kenya, to have an all-inclusive government. Now, the aging Taj Mahal is getting a makeover. The 17th century monument of love is getting a mud mask to remove the yellow tinge from its exteriors and restore its gleam. The memorial was built by an army of 20,000 stone masons, gem cutters, marble fitters and labourers who toiled for 22 years. It'll take 3 days to restore the glistening appearance it had back then. Authorities have been less successful cleaning up pollution in the surrounding area. And that is it. Until next time, do keep sending in your questions and comments to riz@aljazeera.net and point us to anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera. Some of the content has been edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.